This is my crew here.
Yes, that's your crew.
This is the Erwin Nine.
World War II veteran George Hatcher points to a historic photo.
Stanley Norris, Fred Miller, Richard Edwards.
At age 95, he is one of the last surviving members of this celebrated group from his hometown.
I respected every one of them. They were good men, friends.
Nestled in the mountains of northeast Tennessee, back in World War II, this town of 3,000 sent George Hatcher and 8 other boys off to fight. They would become known as the Erwin Nine for the tales that unfolded while they were overseas.
When the war started, all 9 of us joined the Army Air Corps, different times, and all assigned to heavy bombers.
All 9 then endured a similar fate, shot from the skies at war. For radio man George Hatcher, that moment came 10 days before the surprise D-Day invasion during a bombing run over Germany in a B-17.
We got hit by knocked 2 engines out, wounded the navigator, and co-pilot got a bit of 20 millimeter through his leg.
Hatcher bailed out of the plane through the flames and took 2 crewmates with him, crediting skills he honed on the gridiron back home.
I'd played football for Erwin. I backed up about 10 foot, and I'd take a run and go, and all 3 of us went out the door together.
This rare snapshot taken by his German captors shows Hatcher and part of his crew just after they parachuted down on their way to prison camp.
I sat on that bench, and I thought my mother's going to receive a telegram. And that hurt me worse than anything.
And 3 weeks later, his mother did receive her first telegram, and then another.
That your son, Staff Sergeant George Hatcher, Jr., is a prisoner of war.
But about a month into his captivity came a surprise from home when more prisoners arrived.
One of the guys came in and sat down, George Swingle. I'd played football with him first string at Erwin, but I couldn't put a name on him. And I went up to him and I said, I've seen you someplace before, but I don't know who you are. And he laughed and he said, you were from Erwin.
Then it happened again. A few weeks later, more POWs, more familiar faces from home.
One day, somebody came in the barracks and said, somebody wants to talk to George Hatcher on the fence. So I went out there and it was Dick Franklin. And then it was Richard Edwards. And then the guys around me said, where are you from? I said, Erwin, Tennessee. And they said, well, we're from New York. We ain't never seen nobody we know. It's every 2 or 3 weeks, that somebody from Erwin would be hollering for George to come to the fence. There's 55 prisoner of war camps in Germany. And the 9 of us were all sent to Stalag Luft 4.
I hear you say it, but I just don't believe it. Do you believe it?
Yes, I believe it. I've been there and done that.
9 young men from the same hometown, all enlist in different units, all shot down at different times, all end up at the same prison camp, and each one of the Erwin Nine returned home.
The 9 of us we played ball together before we left, and we were still friends when we come back. I think it's just about a miracle. I think it's a miracle. I think the Lord was looking out for us.